have to cross into California here on our way home. Yeah, some kind of station. I'm not sure if it's manned or not, but one of these fruit entrance stations, I guess. See what happens here. Yeah, looks like there's somebody there. So, it's crazy. We gotta quit allowing this kind of stuff.
Firewood or plants with you today?
I don't answer questions at suspicionless checkpoints, but can I ask you a question? You know, it's critical.
Go ahead and open up the back, please.
No, thank you. I don't consent to any searches.
Oh, really?
It's
Well,
critical.
I don't consent to being filmed.
Well, that's okay. You're a public servant, so we can film you. Go ahead and point at me, baby.
Okay.
So, this could be a troublesome one. She seems a little belligerent. Here's the thing. The Fourth Amendment, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. It's important we don't give this stuff up. You know, people say, oh, it's a checkpoint. They're just checking your fruit. They're trying to stop invasive species, this or that. But the question we have to ask is, at what point are we willing to give up our rights? If we're willing to give up constitutional rights for one thing, why not give them up for everything? If a government can pull us off to the side of the road and stop us, and question us and detain us when we've committed no crime, that's a direct violation of the Constitution. It's important to those who love liberty that we stand up for what's right, that we stand up for liberty and for the values that so many shed their blood to give us. These are rights. They're fundamental. And it's very important that we maintain that.
How you doing today?
Not too bad. How about you?
Where are you guys coming from?
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of the Fourth Amendment?
Have you?
Can you recite that to me?
Hi, how you doing?
Good, I'm
Take
doing
my
good.
picture. Don't put it on eBay, and I want to see it on YouTube.
Well, then maybe you better let us go.
I will sue you.
No, you won't, because you're a public servant. We have every right to
I
film
can
you,
do
sir.
that anyway.
Okay, let me read you the
Let's
Bill of
get
Rights.
this
The right
right,
of the
okay?
people to be secure in their persons, houses,
Which-
papers, and effects
Listen, you guys
against
bring in
unreasonable
any-
searches and
any
seizures
plans
shall
or
not be
rumors?
violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, particularly describing
guys,
the place
you
to be
bringing in
searched
any
and the
plans?
persons to be seized.
Are you bringing in any?
Now, here's
plants
something that's
or
interesting.
citrus?
The Supreme
have any
Court has
fireworks?
recognized our
Guys, let me introduce you to a man named Gavin Syme. This gentleman here is an absolute beacon for the rest of us who really respect liberty, want liberty in our lives, and appreciate the freedoms that we have in America. You know, he is from Washington originally, Washington State. You know, and he was doing the same thing like a long time ago. He was going around and he was traveling through his state, and he was getting pulled over for, you know, questionable things, and you know, basically, you know, whatever it was, speeding maybe, or just making a wrong right-hand turn without using his blinker, just ridiculous things to get stopped for. And he was standing up for his rights way back then, you know, and now he's had to flee the state of Washington because there was like threats on his life by people, you know, in that area who don't agree with him standing up for himself. And now he's a refugee in Mexico. If you guys have never looked into Gavin Syme, go ahead and look him up, follow him on his channel. And, you know, this guy really stands up for himself and for the rest of us. Because at the end of the day, if we don't fight for our rights, guys, and we don't stand up against tyranny and oppression, we're going to end up in another Nazi Germany police state. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of the show.
freedom of
Do you
movement.
guys have any firewood?
Did you swear an oath to the Constitution?
Yes. Do you have any firewood?
So, are you listening to the
Do you have
Can
any
you
firewood?
can you quote the Fourth Amendment
Do
to
you
me?
have any firewood?
I don't answer questions at
You
suspicionless
don't have any
checkpoints, sir.
firewood on? Do you have any plants?
So
How
let's
about
continue here.
citrus?
What we need to remember, guys,
Do we have
is that
any citrus?
somebody that tells us
Hi
that we have to
guys,
give
how
up
you
our
doing out
rights.
there in TV world? Hey,
What's-
this is Billy, and I'm an inspector, and I'm trying to help the environment here.
What-
These
whoa,
guys
whoa, whoa,
don't
whoa.
really understand that
Sandra.
because they don't really understand what we're doing. Oh, I love this. This is so good. Well, listen, I got a job to do, and I'm here to protect the environment and the forest.
We're not trying to hurt
And
the
this is what
environment. We're just trying to
do.
travel within our constitutional
So,
rights
that's
on the
okay.
road.
You can travel
My name is
all you
Gavin
want.
Syme. I'm an
I was just
American
wondering if you got
pictorialist,
any firewood
and we're just heading
coming
back
from
home toward
Colorado
Washington.
or east. Do you have anything like that, or citrus coming from Florida?
Now, guys,
Has a Humlong Bing disease? No?
it's important.
See, he doesn't want to do that, so he's shutting
Hey,
the window.
am I
And
being
I really think that's
am I being
really-
detained?
But no,
Am I being detained?
No, I'm
Okay,
not.
goodbye.
I'm asking you if you
We'll
have
see
any
you later.
fresh fruit.
Since I'm not being detained, we're going to leave. He said we weren't being detained, so we're going to go. I don't know.
And it's as simple as that, guys. You know what? Just stand in your truth. Remain in honor. You don't need to get belligerent like that first female cop did. You just need to, know what's right, know what's wrong, and don't put up with their crap. Don't let these tyrants, take away your liberty or your freedom to travel from you, guys. You don't have to get violent. You don't have to get loud. You just have to state the facts. And you know what? Maybe you might lose some of these small battles at the county or city level, but you can always take it up to the federal level. And that's how we get our rights back, guys, by continually getting these things on the record. Enjoy the rest of the show.
We're going to get pulled over for this. But here's the thing. I'm not bringing invasive fruit into California. Everything we have in there is from the grocery store. That's not really the point here. And I don't really believe that that's what these are about. Now, he told me I wasn't being detained. I'm moving on down the road. I'm not going to sit there and listen to a diatribe. What my point is here is that a checkpoint of any kind that's suspicionless on our roads, of any kind, it's against the Constitution. We don't have to be stopped and questioned. It's against the Constitution for me to be held up at a stop without any probable cause that I've committed a crime. And that's the point here. When do we draw the line? Some people will argue and they'll say, well, how dare you interfere with these checkpoints? They're just trying to protect the environment. What about protecting our constitutional rights? Liberty does come at a price. Liberty has value, and that's why so many people have been willing to die for liberty, for justice, for morality, because they all tie in together. Liberty is freedom from tyranny. Liberty is...
Just made a really good point, guys. I just watched a video not too long ago about a guy who literally sailed across the ocean from Cuba to escape communism there on one of those surfboards that have a kite attached to them, like a 90-mile trek where he could have died. And it took him 10 hours of kite surfing to travel all the way to Florida to escape communism. And then he ended up going into the military to fight for this country. So if that doesn't tell you right there how important freedom and liberty from oppression and to live in a free society is, I don't know what else I could tell you. To risk being eaten by sharks, hurricanes, starvation, drowning to death, all that, just to get to America.
Human rights. It's the ability to be able to be safe and secure and protect ourselves against evil, including evil government. This guy back here, he doesn't understand. He's sworn onto the Constitution, but he doesn't even understand that he's infringing on the Constitution, even by doing this. Let me just stop here. It's my brother.